What's up, buddy? Fine. How you doing, Smash?
Good. Good Thanksgiving.
Had a great Thanksgiving. How about yours?
Very good.
Playing football. Oh, I'm telling you. What's them games great? I'll tell you, I enjoyed every single one of them. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving as well. I know we did. Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed the turkey. Had good fun with your family and fellowship with your family, and then also watched a lot of good football.
Yeah.
And
a lot of good matchups in fantasy too.
Oh, there was a lot of great matchups in fantasy. I mean, there was a lot of players I think that stepped up that day.
Yeah.
And throughout Sunday, of course, too, and changed a lot of games by all means.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be good. Come getting close.
Exactly. Look at Bryce Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, who thought he would have done what he did?
Last week of the regular season.
Exactly. Oh, well, let's talk about some. The playoffs are getting closer.
Yeah.
And I think the league is pretty tight. I mean,
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's. My team hasn't done very well this year, but I've enjoyed watching everybody else play and all the good smack talk going on and everything. But I got a feeling I might be back next year.
Yeah. Oh yes, for sure.
We're gonna start OTAs a little early this time.
Long as we're breathing, we'll be
exactly. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the format too for the draft order next year, just to be sure everybody knows what goes on. The two teams who do not make the playoffs, whoever that may be, the worst team gets the first pick for next year. Then the next team will get the second pick for next year, and then goes up so forth and on. And the winner of the Super Bowl will get the last pick, just like it was last year.
Right.
If you win the Super Bowl, you get the last pick in the first round. And I think we'll just roll with that, and that's the fair way to do it. That's what we did last year.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some teams. What team do you think could get hot?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say White Lightning.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good shot at making a run here.
I agree with
winning the money.
Yep. Well, because since Calvin's playing better.
Yeah. That was I think that was his main crutch.
Oh, yeah. When he was on the show a while back, that's what he was talking about. He didn't know whether to bench Calvin. He said maybe one day Calvin will wake up.
Right.
I think the boy's waking up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Bolt Back Mountain.
That's a good choice.
And I'm going to tell you why. RG3 is starting to light up like Cam did last year for me.
Right.
All it takes is somebody to get hot.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's got McCoy out this week. Let's just say the boy makes the playoffs and LaCoy comes back.
Oh, wow.
All right, he's already getting McFadden back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, every team's good, don't get me wrong, but I really think that Boltback's got a good chance, if they get in the playoffs, to get hot.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's like White Thorn Swamp, they've been hot all year long.
Oh, yeah.
But
and the record shows.
Exactly.
9-3 is
right.
a great record for a regular season.
Exactly. And then, speaking of that, one thing I'm going to do next year, I'm going to up the entry fee to $25 next year. And the only reason I'm doing that is that we'll take those extra $5, which will be $40, and whoever wins the regular season will get that money. And then we'll just keep the playoff money the same way we got it right now, where the second place winner of the Super Bowl gets 20, and then the winner gets the rest of it.
So you'll have a little bit. Regular season will mean something.
Regular season will mean something for the guys, because it takes a lot. I mean, you're talking about 13 weeks.
Yeah.
You work hard 13 weeks, you get basically, you get nothing.
Yeah.
So I think next year we'll up it to $25. That's going to be, and I think that'll be better for everybody. And there's going to be a few more changes too next year too. We're going to make some few changes in the league, and we'll get that emailed out to you. But anything you want to add on there to it?
Yeah, I was noticing. Couple of our teams that were, this is a pretty important week for our playoffs, and I was noticing a couple of teams' lineups didn't look legitimate, and it kind of bothered me a little bit, and I don't know what we could. How do you approach that?
I saw them too, and it kind of stirred me a little bit too.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're meant to throw us off or whatever, but it's not right. It's a Bush League move, the way I look at it. And I could go into the deal with the Japanese inspection, but I'm not going to go in that. That's too long, too drawn out. But
well, what bothers me about it is you got people that's put a lot of time and a lot of thought into this setting, getting these guys off waiver wires and doing this and that, how it could affect somebody from not making the playoffs when you're more or less doing something that is not legitimate.
Exactly.
And it could hurt somebody else. And, we got some good players in this league, and I just don't want to see anybody upset.
I agree.
I'd like to see everybody back next year.
Oh, I agree. I would too. And I think that's, I think what we need to do there is, if it's okay with you, we talked a little bit about it. If those lineups are not changed by 12 o'clock on Sunday to where they're legitimate and you have less bench, you have more points in your starting lineup than you do on that bench, I will deduct automatically 25 points off your score at the start of your first playoff game if you make the playoffs.
That's all you can do.
Because we talked about having, well, if it stays that way, we're going to let everybody make the playoffs. That's not fair to Hill's rules, not fair to Jamie, it's not fair to White Lightning, Lady the Tramp, your team.
Right.
And it's not fair at all. So I'm serious about it. If they're not changed by Sunday by 12 o'clock, whichever you two monkeys make the playoffs, or if both of you make the playoffs, 25 points will be deducted from your score from the start. So you'll be minus 25 in the hole. So that's about like being 50 down from the get-go.
That's only fair.
Right.
I really think it's only fair.
I agree with you. I mean, we work too hard in this league, and it don't need to be treated like the Bush League.
Right. We want it to be legitimate.
Right.
And everybody, it's for fun. The money's fine. You want to win the money, but you want to do it honestly.
Exactly.
So.
Look at me. The way I've been out of, I could put in a BS lineup all year long.
Right.
Oh well, the last half of the season anyway.
Yeah.
And help somebody out. It's not fair for the other 6 members in the league for this to happen. And if you guys take offense to it, I'm sorry. If you don't want to play next year, I'm sorry. You got to do what you got to do, but I got to do what I got to do to protect this league. And that's it. So you got it from me, the commish. If they're not changed by Sunday by 12 o'clock, I will do what I said I was going to do. Deduct those 25 points. You'll go 25 points in the hole from the start of your game in the first round of the playoffs. It doesn't matter if White Thorns makes it and won't some get some doesn't make it. White Thorns, you will start minus 25 points, whoever you play in the second round.
I don't understand why you would even attempt that. Why would you even attempt starting a bogus lineup and losing 25 points?
It doesn't make sense to me either, but anyway. But like I said, there'll be some changes made next year. We won't have everybody back, but if you don't want to play, that's fine. I hate to be mean about it, but, we're all friends here supposedly and everything, but it's just getting to the point where it's getting a little bit out of hand. And somebody's got to step in and put a stop to it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing the right thing.
Well,
I know that the other players will appreciate it.
I think so too. I would want it done to me, and I know, and then just, you look at White Lightning. Well, look at you. You could go from 3rd seed down to 6.
Right.
If these two monkeys did that.
Right. And that's not fair.
That's not fair. No.
Why play 12 weeks and then 13th week you just throw it away?
Exactly.
So.
All right. Well, let's move into something else
Absolutely.
here. There's some players I think it's going to get hot. It's been hot, starting to warm up a little bit. Look at Andre Johnson. The guy's been quiet all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Calvin Johnson, and all of a sudden, boom, they start getting hot.
Right.
You look at those guys. You got Marshawn Lynch. He's rock and rolling. Trent Richardson, I'm telling you, that boy, I think he'll get 3 touchdowns Sunday.
He's a
stud. And then you got, Demarius Thomas, another wide receiver. Him and Peyton are starting to hook up a lot now. And the word on the street is that the Broncos coach John Fox said to Peyton Manning, "We got to get DT the ball more."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what that tells me, his catches are going up.
Right.
And of course you got AP. He's doing
solid.
what he can do. But and Arian Foster, you can't stop those guys and everything. But who are some of these?
Well, look at RG3.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to ask you about your quarterbacks. You run with tight ends.
He's hot. He's getting hot, and I think Andrew Luck could be a player when it comes down to it in the end. with his weapons he's got, and he's turned out to be a pretty good quarterback. And tight ends, I think you're going to see two of the best tight ends this season tonight. Tony Gonzalez and Jimmy Graham.
I agree with you.
And I think that could be a shootout. And I think they could factor in very important factors in that game. So those are, a couple good tight ends that could be hot come playoffs. So
exactly. And I agree with you there. I mean, it's just a lot of players are just. I mean, look at Akeem Hicks being hurt. I know, and he got you a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
And then I think Sunday going up against Washington, he could torch that second.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He could torch them. And Eli's starting to get a little hot again now too, where he struggled there a little bit about mid-season, about toward the end of where he got his bye. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And after he got that bye week, what happened? Come out and started playing ball.
Yeah.
That's what Giants did last year.
Exactly. And they won the Super Bowl.
Won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, let's talk about Super Bowl. Let's talk about some games.
All right, sounds good.
Let's get into these games.
Sounds good to me. I got 2 picks. Don't Sweat Our Swag and White Lightning. Well, I think White Lightning is probably looking at this and thinking, I've got to win to be in.
Yeah.
I think he's really going to put it on this week's swag. I hate to say it, but I think he's got to win.
He does, but I'm going to come at him best I can.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm going to come at him best I can.
You got to. Hills Rule and Swamp People. Going to be a great matchup. Hills Rule's hanging on to that 3rd playoff spot, and Swamp People. I'm going to have to go with Swamp People. I think he's too tough, and I think he's going to be getting on a good note going into the playoffs.
I think so too. I mean, on paper, he probably could win.
Yeah, he's one of the favorites for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. And Hills Rule's going to make some racket in the playoffs too, though. So.
And I got the White Thongs of August versus Want Some Get Some. Just like the game we talked about a while ago, I can't pick it.
No.
I'm not going to waste my time picking it.
Right.
I mean, how can you pick it?
Kevin Smith, running back.
Yeah. And Trent Richardson on the bench, Arian Foster on the bench. I'm not even going to waste my time picking it.
I say go on.
I'm going to move on into Seattle's game of the week. Boltback Mountain versus Lane the Tramp. That's you, brother.
Yeah.
That's you.
Tough matchup.
It's going to be close. I'm looking at it. I've looked at it here this afternoon, and I think you've got some better matchups, especially at the wide receiver position. He's got some better matchups at the running back.
Yeah.
I mean, McFadden's coming back, but is he going to be the horse?
Right.
Are they going to roll with Marcel Reese and put McFadden in there on special on shortening his carries or whatever? Who knows?
Right.
But I give it a little bit of thought. I'm going to have to go Boltback.
Well,
I'll tell you why I'm going Boltback. I just got a sneaky feeling about RG3.
Yeah.
I think RG3 can put up 50 points against the New York Giants defense.
He's tough. He is absolutely tough.
I've got a sneaky. I think he's the kind of player like Cam Newton was last year. Toward the end of the season, Cam got hot, and I just think RG3, and he's got Garcon back.
Yeah.
And the Giants defense, when you get that secondary they got, if you get behind them, it's 6.
Right. Right.
And RG throws a pretty ball.
And it goes back to what you said earlier about Boltback. If he gets in the playoffs, he could make some noise.
Oh, wow, yeah, I agree with you.
So
I agree.
And this week could be a stepping stone.
Yes, sir. It could be. Well, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and hope you enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Next week we'll have the playoffs going on.
Yeah.
I'm Swag.
Smash.
See you next time.